Hey everybody, welcome to Goots' Wrestling Pod. I'm your host, Ray Goots, and we're talking Slamboree 95. And I want to announce before we start, Andrew Lee, I got great news. I just got a $2 billion TV deal from Warner. It's not official though.
You know what?
But
It's not as good as the deal Tony Khan got. Let me tell you that.
he didn't get a deal yet. I know they keep it's not official
Yeah.
though, but
For those of you guys who want to know, the rumor is that they supposedly signed with Warner Bros. Discovery for a $170 million a year deal for a 3 year with a fourth year optional. If you're wondering if that's good or bad, right now, currently, they have I think it's a $70 million a year deal for all three shows: Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision. So
mhm.
this would be like, if this is real, that means they're getting like $100 million like more than their previous deal. That's amazing if it's real.
I'm gonna
But I
say
saw a lot of people report it. Why? Like, there's a lot of people reporting this though.
yeah, but it doesn't matter unless Warner Brothers puts out an official press release. I mean, they've been dude. So I'm a year behind my podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
was listening to this is how what a Looney Tune I am. I'm walking to New York Con Club. I'm listening to a podcast with Eric Bischoff and the other guy, John Alba, talking about the Netflix deal when they first announced Netflix. And these same guys were like, "This is actually great news for AEW because now they can re-sign with Warner, and the deal is going to be that they're going to simulcast on Max and fucking TNT, and it's going to be announced any day now." And I'm like, that was January. These same fucking guys who are saying the deal has done has been saying that since January. If this deal is so good and Warner can't wait to sign them, why haven't they signed them yet? Because WWE signed all their deals a year ahead of time.
Let me ask you a question, Ray. So what if
Yeah.
they do actually come out and say, yeah, it's $175 million a year? What are you gonna say? What if it's actually real?
And then that's fine. But why? But if it's real, why don't they just announce it now?
If it's
We
real,
have this conversation every week.
you're gonna congratulate Tony Khan. AEW is a success. That they're a success, bro. They are a
Well, if
success.
they have that deal, this is what I'm going to say. They don't have a deal. They have no deal.
Okay. Okay, that's fair too. If they end up even signing a deal for even like 100 million a year, that's still a win because that's still more than they were making before. You know,
Let me ask you a question. If that deal is real, why isn't Tony signing it yesterday?
I think I don't know. Actually, that's the guy. You know what? Here's what a lot of these wrestling journalists need to do. They need to say, "I don't know," because they don't know, and that's what I'm going to say. I don't know. Um, I don't know. Why do you think? Because the deal's not in set.
I don't think the deal's set at all. I think that's what Tony wants. I think someone in AEW's leaking to these reporters. I don't think Tony is anywhere close to getting the deal he wants. Here's the two things we don't know. All right. Here's the
Okay.
things that we don't know. Like from okay, so it's $170 a week. I mean, I'm sorry,
A
a
year.
year.
A year. Yeah.
That means it's a million. It's 2 million a week for Collision and Dynamite. My thing is this: Dynamite. I mean, Collision's not really getting any ratings, but the thing I want to know is what were the ratings on Saturday night for the movies, and how much does it cost to air 4 episodes of Friends on a Saturday night or something? Like, in other words, like, is $1 million for 2 hours a good deal for Collision? Because I don't know the logistics. You know, someone that works in TV could be like, well, if they air like Friends all night, that's going to cost them $2-3 million. I don't know. You know,
Mhm.
I assume that every time Friends airs, the cast gets money. I know they made that deal that they get a cut of every time it airs, but I don't know what that deal is because we don't have real reporters actually reporting on all this.
Yeah. 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 No. Yeah. We don't know. And dude, I hope that um TV deal is real. Even if that number is wrong and they only make, like I said, 100 million a year, that's still a win. They're still making more than they did before.
You
So
know what I would do if I was Warner Brothers?
what?
Because if this keeps leaking, I know like this guy Tony Khan keeps leaking all this stuff, right? I would go tomorrow and be like, the deal is now $50 million a year for 4 years. That's it. Take it or leave.
Okay, so let me tell you something. If it's 50 million a year for just Dynamite, it's actually still a win because they were originally doing 40 million for just Dynamite. And
Mm-hmm.
WB asked for a second show, and that's why I got bumped to 70, right?
I would
So
say like I want all three shows for 50 million, and that's it. I'm not budging because you keep
mm,
clearly you want the deal. I would just be like, you know what, this guy is desperate, which is why he's going to all the dirt sheets and everything. Take it or leave it. That's what I want.
well, we'll see. He'll probably say, he might
He'll
walk.
take it. He's going to
No,
take it.
he might walk. There'll be other people who
Where's he
probably
going to go?
probably Fox. I don't know.
I don't.
USA. I don't
I don't think
know.
he's got. I don't think he's got any options, brother. Dude, if this deal was so good, and if it was if Dave Meltzer's saying it's already done. Well, then why is it not just done? That's the thing. It's like, dude, if you say to me, I'm gonna marry this woman, I'm gonna propose to her tomorrow, and then a year from now, a year passes, and you're still like, no, I'm gonna propose to her any second now. I know there's something off, which is why you're just not giving her the fucking ring. You know?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. But it's every week this is the most amount of news we've gotten, like actual real news we've gotten from it,
I
and
mean,
we'll
it's
see.
real news if Warner Brothers comes out and says yes, we're definitely going to re-sign them. We'll announce the deal. This is just the same people saying stuff from
I'll tell
sources.
you,
It's just the same.
steak dinner, brother. Steak dinner. That's their
I,
success, brother.
I don't think they did it. If they did it, they would do it. If you did it, you did. Well, you know, it's so funny because Eric Bischoff goes like in January goes, I don't think they're going to resign. I don't think there is any deal on the table for Tony Khan.
Well, Eric Bischoff's also a fucking asshole. So he
I know,
doesn't
but
know.
I'm just
Eric Bischoff doesn't know wrestling like he thinks he does, or he put the way he puts up.
I don't know, bro. I just feel like if this deal was so good and they're so happy with them, this already would have been signed. I mean, here's the thing: if you present Tony Khan this deal in June, and then you just see everything declining across the board, ratings, attendance, you'd be like, why am I going to give this guy 170? Let's make it lower because he's not he's we. The, what I would what as a network executive, I'd be like, you're just going to go lower. So why would I up your money?
Well, like that is a big question to ask because, like, that the honest truth is their ratings have been going down a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think WB cares about their attendance because that
No, I don't think
later
they care about
for them, but they do care about ratings. I will tell you that they're 100% care about the ratings. Ratings have gone down, so it is kind of, yeah. To me, it doesn't make any sense, like why they would raise the the money by over, like, basically they're raising it by 100 million. That's a lot, right?
Yeah.
If they went from like 70 million, remember the current deal is 70 million. If they said we're gonna go from 70 million to like 100 million, so they're raising it, they're doing it like an increase of 30 million, I would be like, yeah, okay, that's fair, right? But if they're doing it, raising it by 100 million, it's like that's a lot. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We don't know anything yet except for those numbers. Let's see if this is actually, like, there's a couple of things we need to know. Number one, yes, you're right. This is just still gossip. It's not official, right? It's not
Yeah.
official news. So we don't really 100% can't say it's official, right? It's not. And number two, if it's still not official news and we are right now as we speak in the middle of September, which means we have basically a little over a quarter left. This is jarring that it hasn't actually been hammered down yet. It's very jarring because now the clock is really ticking. So we'll see what happens. I have no idea why it's taking so long. Some people are saying it's because of streaming, right? They want to put in some streaming deal with it. Some people are talking about the reason what's holding it up is possibly for the pay-per-views. I have no idea. I really can't
I
say. I
think
don't. Not
I think what's
well
holding
versed.
it up is Tony's not going to get the deal he wants.
That could also be it. That could also be it. Maybe you're right. Maybe Tony Khan leaked the story. Maybe 170 million a year for 3 years is what Tony Khan wants, and that's why he's
Yeah.
already leaking it. Hey, they're gonna give us 170 million a year for 3 years. He's leaking that to the news outlets because that's what he wants. But really, maybe he's being offered, like I said, maybe like 100 million a year for like 2 years. Which is still an increase, but it's not like a great increase, you know? That's just like you're getting a little bit of a bonus just because you're still here, you know, kind of thing. So
Yeah. All right.
anyway,
Well, speaking of bonuses,
bonuses.
not bonuses, we're going to talk about Slamboree 95 right now. With like a few exceptions, I thought this show fucking stunk.
Um, so we are, if you guys have been following us, we've been covering the pay-per-views from 1995. And so far, all the pay-per-views from 1995, including both from WWF and WCW, they've all been stinkers in my opinion. This was the first one where I didn't think it was too bad. It wasn't
Wait,
good, but
you didn't like In Your House one?
In Your House one was actually In Your House the first one was okay. Yeah, actually that was okay. Yeah, it was like
That was good.
it was like a nice Reader's Digest of a paper, you know?
Yeah.
Quick, less than 2 hours, you know? But
Yeah.
let's also be fair, there really isn't a match on that thing that's like really just like, you know, you need to like 100%
Oh, I
watch,
think
right?
Hakushi Bret Hart. I think Hakushi Bret.
I mean that was a shit ending and you know
I
and
know, but like at this point, that's the no Jerry Lawler had the shit ending. That didn't
oh
really
yeah,
have a
Jerry
shit.
Lawler had the shit ending.
Yeah, didn't
Yeah, I
remember it.
guess, but
There's
yeah,
really
it's
not
not
a
that
lot of.
it's not even that memorable. It's not even that memorable for me, man. Yeah. So,
I
and I
mean,
just
compared to
watched
the other
that, and
matches this year.
I just watched that too. You know,
Yeah.
right? For me, that's my memory. It's not. I don't think it's that memorable. Yeah, dude. You know what I think it is for you with In Your House? The bar was so fucking low for 1995 that you think that's an actually really
I
really
mean,
good
but that
show.
is like what? Where's a better match than that match in 19? I'm not saying other years. I'm not saying before. I'm saying like right now, January of 95 to May of 95. What's a better match than Bret Hart versus Hakushi?
No, no, that is the best match, but
Okay.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's like if you, in the grand scheme of all the wrestling we're watching, it's really not that
No, I know, but I
amazing.
mean, like, I need, I need something to entertain me. I mean, it's been brutal. It's been brutal.
It has been brutal. And this one, so this is like Slamboree. For if you guys don't know what Slamboree is like a theme wrestling show, right? Because it's got the old timers and shit in it. That's the whole theme of
Well, they
Slamboree.
stopped. By the way, this is the last time they do this theme. But yeah, for the first 3 years, it was a celebration of old people. Yes.
Yeah, a celebration of old people. Yeah. You know what they stopped doing in 1995 that I kind of enjoy, WCW, is they stopped doing the shitty country singers that nobody's ever heard of. They stopped doing that.
We can't do anymore with the Hulkster brother. We're going mainstream, dude.
Oh, is that what stopped it, you think? You think
I
Hulkster
mean, if
was
I was
like,
home, I probably would have stopped it.
yeah. But you notice that ever since this new year, we really haven't been getting those shitty, like, I've never heard of these country singer guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into it. Slamboree 95, a Legends reunion taking place May 21st in 1995 in St. Petersburg, Florida. 7,000 people were in attendance. It had 110,000 buys. For comparison, Uncensored, which took WCW Uncensored, which was like the pay per view right before this, at 180,000 buys. Great American Bash, which will be the WCW pay per view after Slamboree, will have 100,000 buys. So it's around the ballpark of what it's supposed to be getting, give or take. Eric Bischoff, he is going to be welcoming us, and he's got Bobby Heenan and Mean Gene Okerlund. There's going to be no Tony Schiavone. And do you know why Tony Schiavone is out, Ray?
I think he's having neck surgery, right?
Correctamundo. He is out because he is having neck surgery, so he will not be on this show. Instead, it's going to be Eric Bischoff and Bobby Heenan. And let's go right into our first match. We start off with like a nice Harlem Heat montage, followed by the promo on the Nasty Boys, and we're going to our first match, the tag team title match. It's supposed to be Nasty Boys versus Harlem Heat, but only Jerry Sags comes out. No Brian Knobs.
So apparently on the main event, so WCW, and by the way, when we get to 98, that year when they do this with Heat, the first year we are going to watch the Heats as well, because they really treated the Heat like the first hour of the paper, right? And it's on the Peacock. So we're going to watch those. I know you're going to be like, 4 hours, but it's worth it. Some of them are really going to be fun to watch. It just goes from SummerSlam 98 to Fully Loaded 99, and they don't do that again. But that they would treat main event as the first hour of the pay-per-view, and they were doing angles on them. I kind of wish they were on the network so we could watch them, but they're not. I don't think they ever will be with the way things are going now. But yeah, they did an angle where he got injured on them. They didn't show it; they just mentioned it. But yeah,
Why? Can I ask you a question? Why? How come WCW main event is not on Peacock?
because who's asking for it besides me and you right now? Has anyone ever said to you, "I really wish you could watch WCW main event"? It's a
All right,
lot of
fair.
work. Conrad has said a lot of this old stuff no one's fucking watching. So
Yeah, fair enough. That's fair.
if no one's
Right,
watching the Raws from '95, who's gonna watch the main events from '95?
yeah, that's true. Yeah, so Jerry Sags comes out alone to face the Harlem Heat, the tag champions with Sherry. Bobby Heenan mentions that, hey, Jerry's Knobs must be really hurt for him not to come out, which is, what the storyline is. So there's a slow start in the beginning. And Booker T and Sherry, they both take turns cutting promos right into the camera. Booker T, you could tell even watching when he's in a tag team, he's got it. Like every little thing he does, he's got it. He's got intensity and everything. I like how this match begins because he starts by having like a slap fest with fucking Jerry Sags.
Mm-hmm.
He starts slapping around Sags, and then Sags starts like peppering Booker T with like real hits. Like they were like real punches. And then he hits him with a hard clothesline. Jerry Sags, he even gets a hold of Sherry on the apron. And then he like really hits her in the face. Like he punches her and he like really punches her in the face. And then Jerry Sags keeps beating on Booker T until Sherry distracts him. And then this lets Booker T get the edge. And there's a point where Booker holds Jerry Sags for Sherry, and she gets like a real live hit too, like return hit. I mean, they look real to me. I don't know. They look like they were fucking like not.
I mean, listen, Sherry. I really do think Sherry could take a shoot beating from most of the guys. She was a tough fucking woman.
Yeah.
So I don't think you have to hold
remember her first story where she said she walked into the guy like the wrestling office and said, "I want to be a pro wrestler," and the guy stood up and he just slapped her across the face. Like really hard, and she had to be like bite her lip instead of crying.
Oh, you got motherfucker.
Yeah, and like so, like she like understood what wrestling was gonna be,
Mm-hmm.
Booker T also hits a really nice spinneroonie sidekick. This is like this is when like it was actually like a move. Like he would do the spinneroonie, he would pop up and then hit you with that sidekick. It was like he would use the momentum of the spinneroonie to pop up. I used to love that. Stevie Ray, he finally tags in after a long time. This is weird. I don't know if Stevie Ray was injured or not, but he tags in. Remember, Booker T's in there the whole time. He finally tags in Stevie Ray. Stevie Ray comes in. He hits one drop kick, hits a sidewalk slam, and then he tags back out. So he hits two moves, tags back out. And then Booker T does some more wrestling. He tags Stevie Ray back in. Stevie Ray comes back in. He gets on the bottom turnbuckle. He jumps off the bottom turnbuckle, and then he like lands on one foot and then just like hits like a leg drop, and then he tags back out. So every time Stevie Ray tags in, he's hitting like one move or two and then just tags right back out. I was like, is he injured? What's going on? Like, how come he's like barely doing anything? Anyways, all of a sudden, taped up Brian Knobbs runs down to a huge pop. He tags in, he cleans house, and then he also hits a spine buster on Sherry, tosses her over the top rope onto Stevie Ray, and then Brian Knobbs hits a power slam. Jerry Sags hits the top rope elbow drop on Booker T, and the Nasty Boys win the tag titles. Afterwards, while they're celebrating, the Blue Bloods, Steven Regal and Bobby, and they come out to confront the Nasty Boys, and the Nasty Boys, they go with Eric Bischoff, cut a promo, and they start calling out the Blue Bloods and everybody else. I thought this was a fun tag team match, especially to open up the show. Got the crowd really hot. I think the Nasty Boys and the Harlem Heat, they have great chemistry together. And I know you said in the beginning this was like a feud that felt like it was filling up time, but these guys have been feuding all the way through multiple pay-per-views now.
Well, this didn't feel like that. This felt like a legit match. This had a great story. This was my second favorite match of the night. The reason why is the Nasty Boys. Once again, the Nasty Boys, they know the wrestling is missing. I feel like everyone in wrestling is, especially in AEW, is always trying to like say that they're the best, like or steal the show. I feel like the Nasty Boys just they have a role and they do it no matter what the role is. They give it 110%, and in their own way, that's why they always have been stealing. More often than not, they steal the show on these WCW pay-per-views because they're not looking to steal the show. They're looking to fulfill their duty, and then they make a duty and like Vince on some woman's head. No, but they fulfill their duty, and it's really fun to watch. So yeah, this was a great match. I thought great story. The crowd popped huge, and I loved it. Yeah, this was a great way to end the story.
Yeah, fantastic. But Mean Gene Okerlund, speaking of duties, he is with Kevin Sullivan, who cuts a promo on the Butcher, who is formerly known as Brutus Beefcake. And he's acting all weird. While he's cutting a promo, he keeps going like, "Oh, you know, it's cold. Aren't you cold? Aren't you cold, Mean Gene?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, brutal, brutal, man." Oh, we're gonna go to match number 2. It is a grudge match. The Butcher, formerly known as the man, formerly known as Brutus Beefcake, formerly known as the Butcher, is now going by the man with no name. That's his name. Versus Kevin Sullivan. They fight right away, and they fight on the floor. And it's like the man with no name. It's just the man with no heat because nobody gives a fuck about this match. Nobody in the crowd cares about this match. Bobby Heenan. Eric Bischoff on commentary, he's trying to make this credible, and he goes like, "Oh, you know, like Kevin Sullivan gives up a little height to the man with no name," and Bobby Heenan goes like, "Kevin Sullivan gives up a little height to Webster," right? I thought that was really funny. Webster was like a little Gary Coleman,
Yeah,
like
yeah, I remember. He's like one of the greatest of all time. Yes.
Yeah, but that line was so funny to me. Kevin Sullivan stomps on the man with no name's stomach to win the match. Afterwards, after Kevin Sullivan wins, all of a sudden on the WCW Tron by the stage, a scary looking dude starts talking about Hulk Hogan and he's in the sewers and he talk about New York City and all that. Kevin Sullivan sees this creepy old man who's like in the jungle or cave, and he just like, I don't know, get freaks out, and he leaves through the crowd as the guy in the Tron starts going, Kevin, come to me. It's the master of the dungeon of doom. This was horrible. Let me tell you, this match was terrible, but I did like the cheesy, weird man on the Tron. That was funny.
Okay. I don't think I've ever seen a worse. I fucking can't stand Kevin Sullivan, bro. The promo, he has no aura. He gives across dock worker more than a wrestler. His workings, like, for again, the fucking thing, he's cutting a promo. He sounds like a regular guy with Mean Gene. Mean Gene sounds more like the fucking Undertaker than this guy. And then he was, us, what are you making those noises for? What are you doing? And like he like halfway forgets it. And then here's the other thing, bro. People like to act like Brutus Beefcake wasn't over. He was fucking over. He was hugely over. And I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think if they didn't stick him with this fucking vacuum, the second he turned heel, he might have had a chance to have remained over and been an asset in WCW. Instead, it's like, bro, you fucking made this guy look like an idiot, and now he's like losing to Kevin Sullivan. And like Kevin Sullivan just sucks. I know he just died. I don't give a fuck. He fucking sucks. He fucking stinks. I'm sorry. I get why. The more I see this guy, I get why Benoit and Guerrero and Dean Malenko were like, "We're getting the fuck out of here" when they handed him the book. Because it's like, maybe
it's so hokey. A lot of his ideas and stuff is very hokey. Yeah,
it's very hokey. I think he has good ideas for other people. Is what I'm saying. When he's not involved, he has great ideas. Like, I know he came up with a lot of the NWO stuff. That was good. But when he's involved, it's fucking atrocious. He's not good. He's got nothing to me. He's got nothing. He's got no. I think the only reason we talk highly of him was he was pushing the fucking goth envelope before anyone else in 1982. So I'm done giving you credit for that. Fucking do something interesting. And he's just stinking up the joint. I can't believe they beat WWE. I just want to say to Vince, you let this company had this fucking little slob as their top heel, and you let them, and you lost to them, and you lost to them. The fuck is wrong with you?
Isn't that crazy? That's how bad WWF was doing. They lost to this. Did you like it when he was going like, "Oh, it's cold. Are you cold, Gene?"
No, I thought it was like, this is so fucking bad, dude. Dude, like I like had such a great feeling watching the Harlem Heat, and then I mean like this fucking sucks. This, you know what the thing about it fucking sucked. And then like his acting, he's not a good actor either. Like he was like,
he's not a good actor. Yeah, he's not.
The other guy, which by the way, he's Curtis Iakea, the guy, that's his real name. That's going to be Kevin Sullivan's dad. That guy's acting his ass off, but then like the announcers are talking over him. Like, just cut to that video, and let's hear what this guy is clearly saying, which he wasn't really clear anyway. Instead, it's like Kevin Sullivan's walking away. The guy, and the guy's just babbling, and it was just really fucking dumb. And this is, dude, you know what? Like,
you know what? I think I like it. I like it because it's so bad it's good. That's one reason I like it.
No, but that old man is so bad it's good. Kevin Sullivan is just bad. He's just a guy that we have to pretend is a legend. We have to pretend that this guy is so great, and I'm sure he was a nice guy. I've heard a lot of things that he was a very nice guy, right?
Yeah.
I'm never gonna know it. So get him the fuck off my TV. And he's not. You know how much Kevin Sullivan we're gonna have to watch the next 2 years. a lot.
We're like not even halfway in, I think.
No, he gets more and more to do. He gets more and more to do. God. And he refuses. I have no respect for him in any Kingston because they refuse to do a push-up.
I will say this. So far, I'm enjoying this show because the first match was great, and the second one is so bad it's good. So far, I'm like,
no, it's just bad.
So me and Gene Okerlund, he's in the back. He's with Hulk Hogan, Jimmy Hart, and Randy Savage. They're called. They can't say that they're the megapowers. They can't say it anymore. Now they're the Monster Maniacs.
Well, they also have the Renegade with them, so they're like
they're the Monster Maniacs, and they cut a promo on Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, and Vader for their match later. And Hulk Hogan, this part is really funny. This is like a must watch. Hulk Hogan says, "Oh, Randy Savage, he's been eating a lot of Slim Jims today." He goes, "Let me smell your breath, brother." And then Savage like breathes on Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan's like, "Whoa!" I couldn't believe that was real. That's crazy. Didn't you think that was so funny? That was so ridiculous.
It is, but you know what the problem with Hulk Hogan, and he's doing this to Macho Man, is he used to still come across as cool. He comes across now in 1995 as like Captain Kangaroo or Bozo the Clown, like this artifact of like that he refuses to change. I don't know. It's like I'm cringing now with Hogan. I really am.
Yeah, but that promo where he goes like, "Let me smell that Slim Jim breath, brother."
Brother.
and Macho Man breathes on him. It's so funny. It's just like I'm watching this.
It is kind of like it is kind of
It is funny. It's just really funny if you're just watching. Wrestling's supposed to entertain you, right? It's supposed to entertain you, and I'm laughing my ass off watching this shit. They do say, and by the way, they talking about Macho Man's father, Angelo Poffo, being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and then after this promo, they cut to a video of Angelo Poffo saying, "Oh, he's excited to be in the Hall of Fame, but not only that, I get to watch my son wrestle on the night I get inducted to the Hall of Fame." So they're really planting seeds for what's about to happen later on.
Yes.
Which I thought was done very good. Now, this is speaking of the Hall of Fame, because this is the show where they celebrate the old people. Match number 3 is a Legends match. And unlike previous Slamborees, remember the previous ones, they would have like 3-4 Legends matches, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one I liked better. You know what? Because they only had one Legends match. They only had one. That's already an improvement. They're not filling it up
I hated this match. I hated this Legends match.
So it's a Legends match, and and because it's a Legends match, they also film it in black and white. It's not in color. It's Dick Murdoch versus, as Ray would say, Yahoo McDaniel. right? They get Gordon Soley and Bobby Heenan to call it. Yahoo, there's a point where Yahoo like just chops Dick Slater really hard, and Dick Slater, to his credit, he's selling it very well. And then later on, Yahoo McDaniel chops Slater once again to win the match. I liked it. You know why? Because they made it black and white and everything. It felt like it was like a specialty match. It was quick. It was quick. They both guys did what they were supposed to do. They were in and out, and there was only one Legends match for the show. I liked it, dude. That's an improvement from previous Slamborees. It's an improvement.
It doesn't matter. It's still a garbage match. I thought the black and white was fucking horrible. I thought it made it so uncool. You know, the thing about Legends now is that they make them cool. You know, like you still think like the old guys are cool. This was just like, aren't these guys so? I think when you put in black and white, you emphasize that these guys are old failures. These guys were wrestling in the '80s. We had people had color TVs. Like, I don't know. It's just that I just think like they don't do these guys any favors with this. Let's present it in black and white.
Okay, so we're differing on this, but so far, I'm enjoying the show. The show's really good.
I've officially done it. I once while during this Yahoo match, I'm like, I hate this fucking show.
I like it so far. So Mean Gene, he's in the back again. He's with Big Bubba Rogers, who says Sting is great. I get it, Sting is great, but guess what? I've beaten Sting before, and I'm gonna do it again. Good promo by Bubba Rogers, and he makes a good point. He did beat Sting. We're gonna go.
Yes, he did. We saw it.
Yeah, and before we get to that, though, we're gonna have match number 4. It is for the IWGP Championship match. That's right, from New Japan Pro Wrestling. We get these Japanese drummers, and they drum on the stage to bring out the IWGP champion, the Great Muta, and they show lots of Japanese fans in the attendance. And Eric Bischoff, who on commentary mentions, like how we were just in North Korea and everything, and now.
By the way, we're going to be covering that in August. They put that on pay-per-view in August.
Oh, awesome! I can't wait to watch that. Yeah, but Eric Bischoff does mention that, and Muta is going to be facing Paul Orndorff. Good feeling out process in the beginning that's followed by a nice fast sequence. And I will say this about Eric Bischoff. I do not like Eric Bischoff. I don't think he knows a lot about wrestling, but I noticed that during this pay-per-view, he is pretty good on commentary. He does make great calls. He knows his role that he's supposed to play the straight man, and he plays the straight man.
Well, at least back then, he did know a lot more about Japanese wrestling, and he was able to get it over more. I don't know if he watches it now, but he does seem like a guy who actually watches and enjoys New Japan.
Yeah, because in this match, he's making some really good calls on moves and stuff. And if you guys think Eric Bischoff is like a real bumbling idiot and doesn't know absolutely anything about wrestling, I actually would say watch this match and listen to his commentary. He actually shows he's somewhat competent. So back to this match, they're on the floor, and then Paul Orndorff starts choking Muta with the cord. There's no DQ. Paul Orndorff back in the ring, he does his shaky elbow drop that I like, but unfortunately it gets no reaction as the crowd is slowly losing interest in this match. However,
he deserves no reaction for it. Fuck him.
Yeah. However, Muta does hit a very nice looking moonsault to win the match. I like this match. This wasn't a bad match. I liked it.
I did not like this match either. I thought this played to Paul Orndorff's strengths and not Muta's strengths. I thought this was a very old school match. I want Muta to give me some New Japan fucking Tony Khan, Dave Meltzer wrestling, and instead I'm watching Paul Orndorff have a 1982 match. I wasn't a fan. I felt the same as the crowd. I was getting annoyed. I was like, can you wrestle a little bit to play up to Muta's strengths? You piece of shit. You fucking carny. But
okay, that's fair enough. I think that's fair. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's one of Muta's best matches, but I didn't think it was terrible either.
I mean, it wasn't the worst, but at the same time, I was like, I know you guys can do better, but I know you're I'm not doing anything your way. I'm going to do it my way. I'm talking about Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah, so far, I'll be honest with you, I'm enjoying this pay-per-view. It's the matches aren't but nothing's really bad, and the thing that's really bad, it's so funny that I'm excusing it. That's the Kevin Sullivan thing. Anyway, we're gonna go to our next match, and it starts off by we're gonna get a package comparing Arn Anderson and Alex Wright for their matchup. And I thought this was a great video package that they put together. WCW in this show, they're putting together some really good video packages.
They're getting the production is getting better, which
Yes.
I really do think that's an Eric Bischoff thing. I think when he got Hogan, he realized I got to step it up because I have the Hulkster. Their
Mm-hmm.
production is getting better, and say what you will, and you can say a lot, but the presentation of Nitro, Raw and AEW and Impact have copied that presentation. No one really presented it like that, and that's all Bischoff and his team the way they do it. So they're coming together, and it really flourishes in September when they launch Nitro.
You know what? And that's I gotta be fair and you're say, yeah, I agree. I don't like Eric Bischoff, but he did do that. I gotta give him credit. So Mean Gene, he is with Ric Flair, Vader, and Arn Anderson. This time to hear them talk about Hulk Hogan and the Monster Maniacs. And Arn Anderson starts off by telling Alex Wright, you got to earn this title in our match tonight. And then they talk to Vader. Vader has this new purple striped tights. Did you like those new tights that he's wearing?
No, you know what? It felt like it's a wrap for Vader. Even if the thing with it just felt like almost his whole mystique was gone, but especially with this new outfit.
I did not like that new outfit. I did not like it. Even though the only difference is that one extra color, it's like, no, Vader should not have this little purple fucking stripe going through it,
I think Bischoff and other people in power were looking for a reason to get rid of him even now. Even in May. I think they've already decided they don't like this guy, but they want Hogan to have his moment and then they're gonna move on. The thing that keys to me when Bischoff did his podcast on Vader, he said I would have fired him 3 more times, and there was nothing for me to talk about. And Connor's like, you didn't want to rehire in '99? He goes, no. What value would he have added? And it's like, really, you really think he would have added no value? I mean, you fucking had a Tank Abbott dancing to 3 count. You don't think Vader could have added a little bit of value?
And you know what? Say what you will about Vader. In this promo, he cuts a very good promo on Hulk Hogan. He cuts like a classic monster heel promo,
But what I'm saying is I think that they're looking for a reason to get rid of him.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is for Eric Bischoff to say he would have added nothing. I'm like, I disagree. He still had.
I disagree too. Yeah, I would have the moment that they fired him in '98. I would have brought him in. I would have brought him in. I would have had him save Sting from the NWO.
I'm thinking he's just a difficult guy to work with or something like that. And that's probably what it is.
There's people in comedy like that where I'm just like, I don't give a shit that you're funny. I just don't want to bother with you. And I think Vader's the same way. And also, if you're Bischoff, you could be like, look, the problems were so bad by then. We're still going to go to business. And I have to deal with this piece of shit for a few months. So,
Yeah. So after that, they do interview Terry Funk, who's also going into the Hall of Fame, and he's very humble. Terry Funk is just somebody I don't think I've ever heard a bad thing about this guy. And in this little interview, he just shows how humble he is.
I've been listening to the Laps fan. They did a 6-month tribute to him, and I'm almost done, and it's really good. It's really interesting. At first, it was kind of boring, but now they're up to WCW in the 2000s, and it's pretty interesting.
We're going to go to our match number 5. It is for the TV title. Alex Wright versus Arn Anderson, the champion. Alex Wright gets the better of Arn Anderson early on. And Arn Anderson, he's bumping most of this match. But in the end, Arn does this thing where he psychs a hit. Alex Wright ducks. And Arn just grabs him and hits a devastating DDT to win. Dude, I love that ending. That's such a beautiful ending. This was a fun match to watch. I liked it.
The ending was fine. I didn't really like the match. I didn't like it. I don't know what it is with this show, man. It's just not clicking with me. I just thought it was wrestling for wrestling's sake again until the finish.
Yeah, this match, it's the young guy who's doing some of the flippy shit. He has the advantage most of the match, right? He's just he's too fast for Arn. Arn can't get a good grab on him because the technicality, you can't do any technical moves if you can't even grab the guy, right? But at the end, veteran instincts is what wins the match. And I was like, that's a beautiful story. That little psych out And then he just realizing I'm just gonna fucking DDT you. Oh, it's beautiful. It was fucking fantastic.
You know what? I wish AEW would. I wish there was a match where Will Ospreay is doing his like fucking his aerobics routine, and then the guy just hits him with a devastating move and pins him. They would never
Yes.
have the balls to do it like that, but I guarantee you, people would pop so huge.
Yeah, you know who should be like that is someone like a Chris Jericho. Because you know
That
what the
fucker.
problem with Chris Jericho right now in the modern day Chris Jericho is that Chris Jericho is trying to keep up with the younger guys and do what they do. But he's old. He can't do that. He shouldn't be doing that. He should be doing the I don't like the younger generation. I'm going to show you what real wrestling is. And he can't keep up with them, but he uses veteran instincts and old things like these little psychs you out and hits you with a DDT to win these fucking matches. That's the role he should be playing. But you
He's
see
never
that
gonna play that
train
role.
wreck clip of him with Mystico in CMLL?
Yeah, everything since 2019 is him having a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
He refuses to admit he's an old piece of shit, and he's not. And Tony Khan enables him. He's gonna keep trying. He's gonna fucking in the ring with Will Ospreay and try to match him like
I
flip for flip.
know. That's sad. I believe you. I believe that's
Yeah.
going to happen. Chris, nobody likes getting old. Nobody does. I don't like getting old. Nobody likes getting old. But you know what? It's gonna happen. Just fucking embrace it gracefully, bro. You know, just embrace it. Stop being weird.
I've never seen. I
Weird.
actually have never seen a wrestler age as poorly as Chris Jericho ever.
Yeah, Chris Jericho is aging very poorly, and it's because he's fighting it so hard. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of it's like pretty sad.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
You know
because
who's aging very well is like Billy Gunn. And Billy Gunn, if you notice, he didn't really change his wrestling style. He's still doing the same moves he was doing in the 90s, you know? And he's not doing flips and shit like that. He's just doing the same fucking thing. And he's slow in the ring. He doesn't hit a lot of moves, but because he is still being true to who he is, it looks really good, you know?
You know who I think is aging even better? Kevin Nash. He's not on my fucking TV. I'll have to look at him. He's sitting at home.
No,
That's how I want you to age.
He's having a feud with Logan Paul.
Yeah, like you know what it is. It's like Jeff Jarrett. I don't really need any of these guys. I don't need Jeff Jarrett, Chris Jericho, or Billy Gunn on my TV. I just don't. They don't need to be there. You know.
Fair.
I'd rather the spots go to other people.
Yeah, that is fair. Let's go to match number 6. Before this match begins, Eric Bischoff, he does a great job hyping up Meng about how dangerous Meng is. It's Meng with Colonel Parker versus Road Warrior Hawk. Where is Animal, man? Where's Animal?
I think this is during one of their feuds.
Oh,
They had a couple of go fuck your mothers with each other, and or maybe Animal was injured. I don't know, but whatever the case may be, Hawk should have waited for Animal to show up because woo. This is another stinker.
Yeah. So Meng starts with a lot of quick hits to Hawk, but then Hawk no-sells a pile driver, and he hits Meng with a neck breaker, which Meng also decides to no-sell. He pops up and he starts doing these karate moves. I was like, what's going on here? I feel like I'm watching Hulk Hogan. Then Hawk does go shoulder first into the post, and he falls onto the floor, and he starts selling it. He's very slow to get up. Hawk fights back, but he misses a very ugly-looking top rope splash. They fight outside, so they double count out. And a whole bunch of WCW jobbers have to come down and try to break it up. I did recognize one of the jobbers. It was Midian. Did you recognize the other guys?
I think I did. Give me the other names. I can't remember. I recognized one, but I didn't keep it in my memory.
I don't remember. I didn't recognize any of the other ones. I only pick was Midian.
I didn't like this match at all. At all.
No, this match was stupid.
This was not good. I'll tell. Hawk looks out of shape. Hawk. You know the thing about it is, nobody wanted to see the Road Warriors sell. Nobody and when he was winning, people were into it. I think people just want to see Hawk beat the shit out of this guy. And instead they had him sell, and they're having like this weird back and forth. Man, the more I watch Hawk and Animal, the more I realize they are not good at all. They are not good at all. They were a look, and that was it. And the key to them is they can't sell. Once they sell, it's a fucking wrap.
But that's what they weren't. You know, they weren't. Yeah, but you were right. They weren't hired for that, right?
Yeah, but then, he was a surprise too. No one thought Hawk was going to be at the show. So you have Hawk come out as a surprise. Just let him squash the guy. Don't have him fucking sell. And
Yeah,
so people are
maybe
like
maybe
Hawk, and they're like,
Meng.
"What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, maybe Meng wasn't the right opponent for Hawk. Maybe it should have been like Marcus Alexander
Brian
Bagwell or something, right?
or fucking a Tony Khan, a young
Yeah,
Tony Khan.
or Tony Khan. Yeah, exactly, or Tony Khan.
Beat the shit out of him for
So after this, Gordon Soley, he's at a podium by the stage area. He's gonna be hosting the Hall of Fame. The first inductee, he used to be a NFL player for the Miami Dolphins. While he was wrestling, it's Wahoo McDaniels who comes out and does a very quick speech. We're going to our second induction. It is Terry Funk, who does start his speech saying "Hi, Mom," which I thought was very cute. Third Hall of Famer has a record of 6,033 sit-ups in 4 hours and 10 minutes. I don't know if that's a record that still stands, but they said that was a record at the time. It's Angelo Poffo, who just puts over the Monster Maniacs. Fourth induction is Antonio Inoki. Number 5 is Big John Studd. Unfortunately, Big John Studd passed away on March 20th, 1995. So this is just like less than 2 months, really, right? Since that he passed away. Sixth induction is the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and
who comes out with him?
Is a young Cody Rhodes wearing the American flag that he's going to be wearing now, which I thought was kind of cool. And then Mean Gene Okerlund comes out, and they do a surprise induction for Gordon Soley, who does seem kind of taken by surprise. I thought this was a really nice Hall of Fame ceremony. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was nice.
I was born until Dusty, but the Dusty stuff saved the show. And I'll tell you why. He gave a great speech, and then the thing I liked about it, and again, sometimes when you have these little moments of real wrestling, so much better. I think Gordon Soley just thought, I'm just going to go to the back. Like I'm here. When he goes, there's one more thing. The way he did it, and you could see like Gordon Soley like overcome with emotion. Like I didn't think this was going to happen for me. Like he just thought he was hired to like. It was like such a really nice moment, and Gordon Soley meant a lot to Florida fans, the older fans that were there, and it was nice that he got a moment to like really like. It was a nice thing to do for him, and the emotion on his face and the surprise and like that he was overcome, and the way just the way Dusty did it, bro. I could like Cody, like watching Dusty like first thank the fans and thank his kids, and then switch it to like, and now we're gonna honor this guy, right? No one like I can see why Cody was so affected by him dying, and why Cody's like, I'm gonna go start AEW. You know what I mean? Like I can see like why his death motivated him.
But yeah, and you know what's also I liked about this little Hall of Fame thing? It was quick. Nobody overstayed their welcome. This was a nice segment. I really enjoyed it.
I liked it. Okay, I liked it when Dusty Rhodes came out. Everything.
So me, Gene, he stays there and he's with Sting, and Sting says it's not gonna be a repeat of last time. All right, Bubba, I'm gonna beat you this time, Bubba. It was a nice little promo by Sting, and we're gonna go to our seventh match, which is a lights out match, whatever the fuck that means. I think it just means
it's unsanctioned. Doesn't count to the win loss.
Oh, that's what I mean by lights out.
There's no win loss record, but it's unsanctioned.
All right, it is Bubba Rogers versus Sting, who comes out carrying a table, one of those big ass fucking tables. They fight. Bubba starts choking Sting with his tie, but then Sting counters with a high drop kick. They go on the floor, and then Sting rams Bubba's head into that table and even slams him on the table on the floor. Then Bubba somehow gets some kind of powder and throws it in Sting's eyes, and then throws Sting into the table. Sting fights back, and he goes for a Stinger splash, but he splashes the table when Bubba moves out of the way, which gets an oohs and ahs from the crowd. Because remember, this is 1995. This shit didn't really happen too much. And then he gets whipped by Bubba's belt a bunch of times. And then Sting, he kicks out of the Boss Man Slam, and he lays on the table. He lays the table on top of Bubba. Bubba's laying on the mat, and he put the table on top of him. and then he stomps the table and Bubba Rogers, and then he puts the Scorpion Deathlock to win. This was a good match. I liked it. This is a good little
This was my favorite
ending on the
match
feud.
of. This is my favorite match of the night.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Dude,
know,
like I'm telling you right now, so far there's like not a lot of fat on this show. It's like every
oh,
single
there's a
match
lot of.
there's something I enjoy for every little thing.
You know, it's pretty clear. It's like glaringly clear that Sting should be the guy.
Yes.
There's no question. And man, they're just wasting. I don't know. I really wish
You know
he
what
went
it's
to
like?
WWE.
They're trying to you actively see them trying to get Sting out of the main event. You know, like
Yeah, and
a
it's
couple
like
of months ago, a couple of pay-per-views ago, he's in the main event scene with like Hulk Hogan, right? And like they're slowly phasing him out by like, oh, you're gonna fight Bubba Rogers. You're too preoccupied. You're now replaced by Macho Man and the Renegade. Like he's been like phased out of the main event, and I don't buy it. I don't think the fans buy it either. It's just like
no, and it's like it's almost like I get you got Hogan. That's great, but Sting is the and you know they never really they half-ass it at 97, 98. They never again go with Sting as the main focus of the show. And I think that was a massive mistake. I think that cost them a lot 98, 99. He should have been the main focus after he beat Hogan. And they never did it. They never were like, this promotion revolves around him. And I mean, the one kind of time they do it, he's not even wrestling, which is in 97, you know?
I think Hogan saw Sting's penis in the shower, and he was like, "Brother, I can't have him near the main event, brother. I
Hey,
am
brother.
too
But yeah, this was a
self-conscious
great
about it."
match.
Yeah. Speaking of Hogan, we get a great hype video package for the main event. We're gonna go to our final match: Flair and Vader with Arn Anderson in their corner versus Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage, who only come out with Jimmy Hart. But as they walk out and they're walking through the entranceway, we see a giant by the curtains in the entrance. And then he's there for a little bit, then he goes away. Then all
It's
are in the
AEW
ring.
legend Paul White.
Yeah, it is the Big Show. First appearance of the Big Show. They're all in the ring when all of a sudden the Renegade's music hits and he runs down. He gets his own entrance. You know, the whole Ultimate Warrior knockoff thing.
Oh.
All right, so Vader and Hulk Hogan, they start the match, and Hogan sends Vader outside, who Savage then beats on and sends back into the ring. But then Vader double clotheslines both of them, which is a cool spot where he's still got power over them. Flair gets in, and he just gets nailed by both Savage and Hulk Hogan. He takes a flop on the aisle. Flair is just bumping for everybody, and neither Hulk Hogan nor Savage wants to give Flair any kind of offense because Flair is like trying to hit him, and they're just like acting like he didn't do that. Flair, the only thing that they're willing to sell for Flair is like eye pokes at this point. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
yeah, no, they're
finally,
not. They're not. They have decided that Flair's the jobber.
yeah, this is terrible. Finally, a sneak attack starts the heat process on Hulk Hogan, and the Giant comes back out. But Hogan no sells a Vader hits him with a suplex, which Hogan no sells, but Vader is able to get Hulk down again for somehow. And then Randy Savage gets in and he slaps Vader, and they kind of get into like a slap contest, and Vader gets so mad, I think, about the slap, he shoves the referee down. Randy Savage, he drops an elbow on Ric Flair, but Arn Anderson pulls Savage off of the cover, and he gets chased around until Vader meets basically the Renegade. They have kind of a face-off. Vader hits his moonsault, and normally he misses this moonsault, but he fucking hit it on Randy Savage. It is brutal looking. It looked like it killed Randy Savage, but Randy still he still gets up, and you know what he decides to do? He goes, even though I took this brutal moonsault that everybody gasped at, I'm still not going to sell for Ric Flair. And he still starts beating the shit out of Ric Flair. It's ridiculous. Hulk no sells for Ric Flair. He no sells for fucking Arn Anderson in the ring. And then while Randy and Vader start fighting on the outside, Hulk Hogan hits the leg drop on Ric Flair and he wins. All the heels, they start attacking from behind after this match. Randy's father, Angelo Poppel, he jumps in the ring, and then he gets beat on by Ric Flair. And the show ends with Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan crying about his father getting beat up. I fucking hated this match. This was the worst match on the show. This was the worst match.
This match was horrible. It was kind of good when Flair and Savage were in the ring alone, but other than that, it was horrible. Hulk Hogan has given it. The thing about Hulk Hogan, the thing he doesn't seem to understand is that the reason he worked in the 80s is that he would get the shit beat out of him. He'd be left laying during angles, and he would come back for revenge. He has refused to let himself look weak whatsoever in any of these matches. And he has completely ruined Vader's aura. He's made Ric Flair look like a buffoon. Also, he's got the strength in numbers. He's got Jimmy Hart. He's got fucking the Renegade. And he's making everyone look like a doofus. Because even and then like the whole thing is the dad gets beat up, and Hogan didn't even look that bothered by it. Yeah. Hogan looks like Savage had a flat tire, and even Savage usually like bro when Elizabeth got the shit beat out of her by Jake, he fucking snapped in a second. Here he's like at first he's like, oh yeah, I have to act like I'm upset by this. It's just I gotta say. Hogan has thrown Randy Savage off his game, man. Hard. It's like he's sucking. It's like he's sucking Sting and Savage's aura off of them whenever he's near them. I told this is around the time Bischoff said I want you to turn heel, and Hogan said no, and then a year later he agreed to it. But I totally see why. You can tell like this is not going to work much longer. Like he's not. It's not. I'm sick of it already. It's not hitting the way WWF Hogan hits. It's just not hitting. And I don't know. It's just like I'm watching this and I'm like, Vader's ruined.
At the rate Hogan is going, he's ruining not just everyone else's legacy, he's ruining his own at this point. And there needed to be a change, or this was gonna everything was gonna go down. It was just Also, it's because they got Jimmy Hart. I don't know how I would have felt if there's no Jimmy Hart and it's like Hogan, Miss Elizabeth, Savage, and Renegade. Let's say maybe it would have been a little bit better, but Jimmy Hart also just brings this whole fucking thing down, bro. He really brings it. He really brings it. It would be like right now Paul Heyman was coming out with like CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. And like, I don't know, just like, but that's not cool. Like, I like Paul Heyman, but like, if Punk and Cody are supposed to be faces, I can't have Paul Heyman doing Paul Heyman shit. And it's even worse because Paul Heyman's a good promo. Jimmy Hart is just not good anymore. It's fucking bad, man. It's really fucking bad. And even beating up the dad. That's like supposed to like get him heat for the next pay-per-view. It's just, I would say like Slamboree, in 1995, I enjoyed it for the most part, but this main event just fucking like leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
This kind of is the problem even 2 years later. And Jim Ross would highlight, he goes, look, they may have killer undercard matches, but their main events are shit. Our main events are not shit. And maybe we'll have the Blue Meanies stink up the joint in the opening match. When we get to the main event, Austin, Rock, HBK, they're going to fucking deliver. And that was one of their strengths. And the key, the reason why, I think a big reason why, and I've said this before, the guys having killer matches in the main event, in the opening matches, never got to mix it up with Savage. And I think it's doing a disservice. Savage should have had a feud with Benoit or Eddie Guerrero. I think that would have done huge things for Savage's legacy. And instead, he's got to make this dog shit looks good, and it just hurts him. It doesn't help him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's important to have a good main event, because at the end of the day, that's what people are gonna remember. So you could have an amazing undercard, but if your main event sucks, that's what people are gonna kind of remember. That was their. I think that was one of the WCW's flaws, that they're just never gonna get over. They're just never gonna be able to get over that.
So maybe there's still time. They could go back in business. Anyway,
true.
So let's go over the. I would say skip this show. What would you say?
I think it's like if you're bored and you just want to see like some funny, just funny stuff from WCW with some decent wrestling matches, I would say go ahead and watch this. There was like some of those weird stuff like Hulk Hogan saying, "Let me smell your Slim Jim breath, brother," and The fucking Nasty Boys Harlem Heat match was fun to watch. Sting versus Bubba Rogers. This is like that was the end of their feud. It was good. It's like on a rainy day, it's not a bad show to watch. You know,
I say avoid it and watch CM
you want to
Punk.
see if you want to see young Cody Rhodes, another one. You know, another reason.
This is when the story starts. The story that he finished. This is when he starts writing the story.
This is the beginning of the story. Yeah, this is the
Yeah,
beginning
the
of
story
Cody Rhodes'
starts
story.
here with
Yeah.
Gordon Sullivan dead it. So let's go over the next 4 weeks. Next week, we have Great American Bash 95. The Great American Bash is back. We haven't had one since 92.
Yes.
And that show, we're going to see Macho Man versus Ric Flair. In 2 weeks, it's King of the Ring 95. And on that show, the main event will be Diesel and Bam Bam Bigelow versus Tonka and Psycho Sid.
Ugh.
In 3 weeks, it's Bash at the Beach 95. That show will have a main event of Hogan versus Vader in a steel cage. And then in 4 weeks, it's In Your House 2, when the main event of that show will be Diesel and Sid in a lumberjack match. What are you looking forward to?
In Your House too, because I feel like it's probably gonna be if it's like anything like In Your House 1, like a short digest kind of a show. I'm looking forward to that.
Shawn Michaels and Jeff Jarrett have a great match on that show. I think it's probably Jeff Jarrett's best match ever. So,
oh, interesting. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah,
we got that looking forward to. But I did hear from a lot of people that the Savage Flair match is kind of them making a statement like, "Don't fucking sleep on us yet." And I heard it's good. So we'll see. We'll see. They don't have Hogan to fuck it up. So we'll see.
That's good. That's less Hogan, the better, for real.
But I don't know. I've never seen it, and I've never. All I remember is Conrad read Dave Meltzer's report from then that said it was much better than he thought it was going to be. But I don't know if we have to judge it first.
That's also Dave Meltzer. So
yeah, fuck him. All right, guys. If you like the podcast, subscribe. Who's His Wrestling Pod? Leave us a review. Leave us a comment on YouTube. I know not a lot of you are fans of the year 95, but listen, this show's really interesting. If you want to sign us to a TV deal, $170 million a year, give us a call. Follow me on Instagram, Ray Goots.
For 3 years, though. Has to be for 3 years.
Okay, 3 years. On TikTok, Ray Goots Comedy. Andrew is also on Instagram, Andrew Sunnelly. And, hey, we'll see you next week. Summer may be over here, but in 95, it's just heating up. And we'll see you next week at the Great American Bash, Daddy.
Bye.
Woo! Bye, Andrew Lee, bro.
All right. Good stuff, man.